Kita mulai ya. Clapping for synchronization.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, okay. Hi, this is the newest season of Kopi Selem podcast at Minikino Film Week. It's now the 8th Minikino Film Week, and I've been your podcast host for the what? Third year. Third year now. Wow. Okay, I'm Nosa Normanda. I'm an anthropologist, filmmaker, and producer. And here with me, I've got my guest speakers, and I think it's better they explain themselves. We start from the furthest one from the US. Miss Clarissa, who are you?
Who am I? I'm Clarissa Jacobson. I did a short film called Lunch Ladies, and it was on the circuit. It's still been going around on the circuit now over 5 years. And I wrote a book about promotion because of the success that I had and all the stuff I had to learn to do promotion. And it's called I Made a Short Film. Now, WTF do I do with it? And it was translated by Minikino Film Festival into Indonesian. And I cannot say the Indonesian name.
Let me read the Indonesian language. Aku bikin film pendek, sekarang aku harus ngapain? Cuk! Panduan festival film, promosi, dan petualangan. So, Cuk is Indonesian language for that F.
I love that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, but it's not something. It's not a profanity from where it came from. The East Java.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
okay. Well, WTF isn't quite a profanity, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, happy to be here.
Thank you, Clarissa. Okay, the next we have someone from South Korea. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kirin from Korea. I'm a director of No More Prime Time. Thank you.
Okay, there was okay. Her film is one of the what do you call it? I've watched them. If you go to Minikino Film Week 8, you will watch it too. At No Prime Time, it's a film about something very real happening in Korea. And but it's surreal, so you gotta go here to watch it, guys. Okay, and the last one we go back to Indonesia. Our host in Minikino Film Week 8, which is also the director of programming. Please introduce yourself again.
Hi, Fransiska Prihadi. Friends call me Chica, and I'm just happy. It's 8th edition, and we are welcoming more people, not only from Indonesia, which is our home base country, but Southeast Asia, East Asia, international came. Clarissa came.
Yes.
Yay.
Okay, thank you, Chica. So today we're gonna talk mainly about festival circuit. For those of you who are first-time filmmaker or like Kirin here, whose film is premiere in Bali, Indonesia now. I think we have to talk about this. And one way to kickstart is kickstart your career as a filmmaker is through the festival circuit. Uh, WTF is that? how to get on it, and most importantly, how to survive in it. It's like Clarissa's book. It's how to survive in surviving the ride, right?
Yes.
Surviving the ride. So first, I'm gonna ask Clarissa, in your experience, from what you have been doing this last, I don't know, well,
5 years.
years?
6 years
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
almost. Yeah.
What is that circuit? What is that ride? I mean, if your film is the vehicle, where are you going?
Well, the reason I call it a ride is because making a film is so difficult, but what's even harder, I think, is what happens after it's done. What do you do with it? And when you go on the circuit, it's overwhelming because you don't know a lot about what, if your first time, you just don't know how to traverse it and what you need to do. And when I started, there was only 2 books out about it, and they were old, and they were about feature film. One was about a feature film, and they didn't talk about things like promotion, how to reach, how to like connect with programmers, how to get your subtitles, how to things to do to get your film out there, because you can have an amazing film. There were so many films that were just as good as my film, but they did not do as well on the circuit because they didn't do the amount of marketing and promotion. And by surviving, it's because it's so much work. And you have to have major passion to do it, which I hope you do because you love your film so much. As I talk about, you should always love your film. And just a lot of stamina to continue to put one foot in front of the other, because even though it might not seem like you're making progress, it will come full circle. Like 6 years later, almost, I'm still having people come to me but at first it's like a snowball. You might not feel that things are happening, but if you're doing all the work that you need to be doing, things do happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. From your book, I've read your book and I've made a review on it in Bahasa Indonesia, and I see that in Indonesia we have this word palu gada.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you want? We have.
Right.
Whatever you need, we have it. Like it's like a person who can do anything. And from what I read from your book, you learn a lot of stuff from publishing, from I don't know, graphic designing and stuff like that. What drives you to do that? I mean, you as a film, you start as a writer,
Yeah.
voice actor and filmmaker, and then graphic designer,
Yeah.
and then publisher.
You have to wear many hats. And what drives you to do it is your love for your film and wanting people to see it. You made your film to be seen, not to sit in a drawer. And there's nobody that's going to love your film as much as you do. And there's nobody that's going to work as hard for your film as much as you. So if you think you're going to be able to you might be lucky that you will have other people that will help you, hopefully. And people will help you. Fans will help you. People will help you. But it will be you and your passion driving that film. And so it has to be you doing and things that you're scared of and things you don't want to do. I didn't even have a Twitter account. I thought it was, I would say pound instead of hashtag. I didn't know anything about Twitter. I didn't have a Facebook account. I didn't want to do it. And I was not interested in social media. But I realized those were things I had to learn how to do. So to get my film out there. And all I can say is that there's a lot of stuff you'll have to learn. But if you have enough passion, you will be able to do it. So.
Okay, yeah. Talking about it, yeah, it's easy if you Google Clarissa Jacobson, you're gonna have a lot of entry, like her websites, her portfolio, her.
You'll be sick of me.
Actually,
You're like, go away, Clarissa.
no, it's hard to be sick of you because I even see how you make voice actor for animation. You become this granny, you become these kids. I don't know, like different sounds. So I make sure that if you heard your podcast host like me, I sound really bad. Thank God I got covered by Clarissa. Thank you, Clarissa, for that. Now talking about social media, I also tried to find Sinn Kirin in Google and social media. I'm trying to find you. And it's like the other way around from Clarissa. Clarissa is like all over the place. And I just found you LinkedIn, professional. And where's your film? Like, wow. Okay. So my question is, this film that you made, Abnormal Primetime, it's well made. The production value is really good. And it's about, the time. It's like a pandemic film somehow because it's isolating, lockdown, and then people got to work at night, something like that, and it's awesome. It's the issue is kind of authentic. Can you tell us a bit about how did you make this film? I mean, the ideas, the development of the film itself.
Oh,
Yeah. And what are you planning about it?
planning about from now on with
Yeah,
this film.
from the first time the idea came to you,
First
and then after
time
it's done, what's your plan?
I have writing. Wait. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, forgot.
Yeah,
It's about young generation.
young generation. Okay.
Yes, and this young generation have a support that uh, support from the problem of recruit. I think that kind of phenomenon is not just personal thing anymore. So yeah, that's the first idea. for make that.
What year was that phenomena? So the film talks about this phenomena in Korea, South Korea, where you cannot go out during daylight.
Right.
It was too hot, right? It was too hot, and so the government started to make shift. People work at night, and at daylight they're at home. It's that's a true event, right? I mean,
That's
yeah,
event.
yeah. The government really shift the working hours.
That's not real event, but yeah, I think it can be in the near future.
Oh yeah,
Maybe climate is
climate change.
change, getting worse now. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the issue of the film, I think, and it's really kind of frustrating to see how people at the same house could be very, very much estranged. So can you imagine this there are people anywhere in the world, I think, today that are living together but never really meet each other, because the working hours, especially during this pandemic, you see, uh, working from home. Some people working from home and with different hours. Sometimes, it at the same place, but doesn't really meet each other. So you put your film in here in Minikino. This is your premiere, right?
Yeah,
So,
right.
okay, so make sure you guys see, if you're in Bali somehow, watch your films. What was the date again? For the screening?
Monday.
Monday. Okay, Monday. And then so what's your plan after this? Are you sending it to another festivals? How many festivals are you sending it?
Yeah, yeah. I don't have clarified plan.
Great.
Yeah.
That's why you have
That's
the book.
why. Yeah. That's why I am here.
That's why you're here. Thank you. So I'm gonna ask now. I'm gonna ask Chika about this. Chika, as a program director to one of those circuits, what do you think about the circuit? What is this circuit? How does it help filmmakers, especially the new ones?
Well, it's not the only one way. There is no one way to get your films out there. That I do believe. But film festival circuits, and in this case, it's a short film festival circuit. That is a great way to launch your films. You'll get, I think, far, and you'll meet the people in the industry, fellow filmmakers, the audience, and that boosts your spirit because I think short filmmaking are totally different. You make it out of passion. Like when you go to the festival and you ask, okay, so what do you do? Yeah, I made films, but I might be like an air stewardess, or I am a barista, or I work in a bank, or like they all have this passion for short films, and that's why they made short films. So I think so far I'm not a fanatic here, but I think the one that can appreciate your passion in short films by making it or watching it, I think is only through festival, especially great festival like like Minikino. But if I may add, you were asking, so how does it contribute for filmmakers? Here we are with Kirin. We were talking earlier and we had breakfast, and Kirin was saying that 8 years ago she made her first short film as a graduate films. She didn't go to any festivals, and she say because simply it's like I don't know if I have to go. If only maybe Kirin, read Clarissa's book, or if he goes back to the future and Clarissa made this film 20 years ago, you will help a lot of filmmakers. And Kirin will probably not in Minikino Film Week, maybe in I don't know where, maybe in Bogota. With your films. So my point is, I think you'll go far with your films, and if you have films selected in a film festival, you go there. But Clarissa have, I think, a lot of points about going to which film festival and what expectation. Maybe you want to ask Kirin about her expectation in this 1 week.
Yeah. That's a good question from other speakers. Kirin, what's your expectation for this 1 week? Yeah. One more thing before we go to the questions. Yes, Chika, you were right. There are many ways to be a filmmaker. Like uh, I myself, I'm an anthropologist, and I started my career from commercial, at advertising, and then I started making documentary. And I'm not into festival circuits. When I started my career until today, I made like 300 mini documentaries for my office back in the U.S. when I was still working there. So as I'm an experienced filmmaker without festival circuit, because it was all commissioned from the office. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's the executive producers. There are
Yeah.
demands of me making shorts daily, uh, and that's one way. But I realized that it doesn't make me an IP owner. Intellectual property.
Yeah.
Intellectually, it's not mine.
Yeah.
It belongs to the office, not mine. So yeah. When I make my own films with my own ideas, my own script, or with my friends, it's suddenly I became this above the line crew. I'm producer, or director, or script writer, or creators, or something like that, right? Creator, you create your own. What I think that's the main difference between having a career in the industry under big corporations and making it on your own through festival circuits. You know, yeah, and yeah, I have one question for Kirin. Actually, you make this film, despite the fact that you are in the industry, you're in the office,
Yeah.
and then you make this one film. And what makes you, what drives you to it? I mean, your own film.
Oh. What's right?
How did you get the idea in the first place that okay, let's make another short after 8 years?
Oh.
Could you?
Uh, well,
You told me the answer. You were working in the corporate, and then now you have time, right?
yeah. I worked in advertising company during 5 years, and then yeah, and then after that, finally I can have my own time for make short films. So now I'm freelancer director, so I can make it. And Korean government supported the money. Yeah, that's the big reason.
Yeah, time is the essence, guys. I mean, if you want to make it, let's say you want to be a filmmaker, full time one, or you want to make a film that is good enough, you gotta have this time, right? This time of not. Yeah, you gotta make that time.
enough passion, you will make
Yeah. You make that time. I don't know, by working your ass off and then saving money, and then you cut the work, and then you start to make your own. Talking about time, we're gonna have a very short break, and after this, we're gonna go back and talk more about the book and about the circuit. See you in a minute. So yeah, we're here at Genius Cafe in Sanur, and I'm with my speakers. There's Clarissa Jacobson, there is Sinn Kirin, and Fransiska Prihadi. Yay, guys! And apparently God is very, very kind to us today, because we're just near the beach, and there's no noise from the beach, and we got coffee here. And the weather is really good. So yeah, I'm gonna be with our speakers. Um, so, Clarissa, since you make your book, when was this published again? The first edition?
Probably I want to say like God, I don't know.
Ah,
The
what,
whole
a
haze
year?
of the film circuit is like, whoa, when did I do this? I want to say like 2018,
2018
maybe.
probably.
That sounds about right. 2019.
19.
Yeah.
19. And that was, I think, before the pandemic, yeah?
I finished it right before the pandemic,
Yeah.
but I did an audio version during the pandemic when I had COVID in my
Okay.
apartment.
Wow.
So when you hear my audio version, know that I had COVID when I was doing it.
Okay, so what is there these past 2 years? Do you think you have find something that you want to change for reprint probably? What
Oh, the things are updating all the time.
okay.
You go to different festivals. Like, for example, I did not go to Minikino until I had been at Clermont-Ferrand
Mhm.
talking about my book. I met Chica. I was going to say friend, but Chica. I met Chica, and she said, "Enter your film." And I had not heard of Minikino at the time, and now I was like mad because I didn't enter it earlier when it was fresh on the circuit. But yeah, things are always changing. Technology is always changing. I found out later that Film Freeway now has a subscription that you can pay to get cheaper entries that I would have put that in the book. And I'm learning things all the time. Like before, I never did Instagram stories. And now I do Instagram stories all the time because you find out that some people only watch stories and some people only look at pictures.
Oh, I see.
So if I could write that again, I would talk about Instagram stories. You want to do Instagram stories and stuff. So things are always changing. You're always learning. You're always meeting new people that have brilliant ideas that give you insight. And, yeah.
Yeah. So how was your ride with this book these last 2 years?
Incredible.
Incredible.
I'm here in Indonesia, in Bali, hanging out with amazing filmmakers and different cultures from all over the world. And I did not want to write the book because it's a lot of work. But my director, the Lunch Ladies, kept saying to me, "You learn so much, write a book, write a book." And I would have so many filmmakers ask me how I did what I did. I would spend hours every week talking to people. So I said, you know what? I just write this book and I can be like, go read my book. And it was amazing when I was writing it because I thought that I would be struggling to write it, but there was so much information. I could probably write a part 2, and I wrote it all in about a month and a half, just working like through the night, just trying to write everything down that I had learned. So yeah, and then I just get to meet. It opens a lot of doors. I mean, I talk about that a lot when you promote your film. Is that you try to find interesting ways, other ways. So like this is just one more way that I can also promote my film because I have to talk about Lunch Ladies in it. And so this book opens more doors. I meet more people. I met Jaime from Bogo Shorts because of the book. I would not be here without that. So yeah, it's been incredible. Yeah, and now it's in Indonesia and it's so crazy.
Gosh, you got a lot of energy. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
And I've had 2 coffees and a chocolate bowl.
So I'm gonna ask Kirin now. So Kirin, what do you know about making films in South Korea? I mean, you took it. It took like it took a long time for you to finance the film and make it. Uh, do you can you tell us about uh, making a career as a filmmaker in South Korea? I mean, you came from film school, right? And then you started making it into corporate and commercials. I want to know how hard is it making a short film in South Korea? Is there any rules? Is there any I don't know what's the hardest thing in making your film? Yeah, you can speak in Korean, by the way, in Korean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can speak in Korean.
Look at this.
Please.
Yeah, and then we edit
if you
and find
understand,
the
yeah.
translator, and
Yeah.
you can translate it later on.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, financing is the hardest thing. And actually, I'm graduate from film school, but my major isn't film. My major is more about commercial film, about advertising. So actually, I don't know well about the film industry in Korea, but yeah, everything's every, mm, all problem is just financing. Yeah,
That's everybody's problem.
yeah.
Problem, yeah.
And other question? I forgot
Is,
about
is
that.
there any way? How did you pitch your film to get finance?
Uh, mm, I had to write synop and make some simple pre-production manual for short, and yeah, government read that, and mm, they decide to support my film. So after that, I can make that search during 2 months after I got approval the money. Yeah, and then uh, mm, I have to use my own money for make the film first, and then after 2 months, yeah, payment is later. Yeah, but yeah,
Okay, yeah. So at first you pitch the government, and then after they give you the I don't know, agreement to make your film,
yeah.
and then you use your own money first, and then you reimburse later. It sounds a lot like our
Sounds
government.
like Indonesia. That's 2 months. That's very kind. Indonesia is 1 month, but that is also very
Yeah,
kind.
we're
Please
we're
support
1 month.
more filmmakers.
USA, no money.
Okay.
USA no money?
No money.
How come?
No.
So how do
Because
you?
they don't
Yes.
care about the art. No, I mean, I don't know. They don't care about short film.
Short films.
So like mine, I saved all my money myself. I did my
Oh.
whole film with my own money. But some people do GoFundMe,
Okay.
crowdfunding. Yeah, it's very difficult. There might be some grants, but I don't know anybody really that gets them. Usually, people crowdfund or save their money to make a film in the U.S.
So,
Yeah.
when I watch Lunch Ladies, it was a very fun film. It's very entertaining. I laughed myself so hard, like these lunch ladies are the best. And I was thinking, how do you get funding for this kind of film?
You don't.
It's like so. Yeah.
You save your money for years, like I did, and spend it.
Yeah, exactly. I also make some kind of fun films like Tarantino's. I want to try something like Quentin Tarantino, and I made it with my own money and some of my friends' money to make fun, but to make fun. So there's this one when we were screening in Jakarta. There's one of the MC asked me, "What is the message of your film?" And I told, "No, I have no message in my film. Like it was just for
To make
fun."
you feel good and
Yeah,
to
make you feel
entertain and
good.
make you
Yeah,
laugh.
to make you laugh. And but I'm wondering when you pick up festivals to send lunch ladies, uh, what were you thinking? I mean, I sometimes it's hard to read. You know what? It's hard to read where my film
And will
should be,
fit.
would fit.
Well, I think like my plan was I wanted my lunch ladies to go everywhere in the world. So I had a map and I would be like, oh, it hasn't gone to Portugal. What festivals can I enter there? I would network with a lot of other filmmakers to ask what the great festivals were. I would Google, there was like a list about best horror festivals. So I would go through the list and go, which country have I not been to? And what's interesting about getting your film in different countries is it might take a while to break in. Like it took a long time for lunch ladies to break into Germany. But then the international short film community is so amazing that once you break in, people start talking to other people. And you're in a word, and then you have other festivals that come to you and stuff like that. So, it was mostly about wanting him to be all over the world. And then there was the free festivals, and on Short Film Depot has a lot, and at Fest Home. And if it's free or cheap, what do you have to lose? I just entered everything. I did not care how small or big the festival was, because my attitude was, my film is going to be seen by somebody. And you never know who's in that audience.
Okay, I see.
You know?
Yeah, I know.
Some people get picky and they go, oh, I only need to be in Sundance or any. No, you made your film to be seen. So if you have 5 people in the audience, it's important. Yeah.
So, Chika used to say that you should not you should not send your films randomly anywhere. Like
No, you have to be. I mean, I did not send like this blanket. I was picky, but I wasn't like. I mean, I only had so much budget, and if you enter film festivals in the U.S., it's very expensive,
Yeah.
$30 to $40 a piece.
Yeah.
I was very focused the way that everybody can find their own way, but the way that I focused on it was finding the best horror festivals, because my film is a horror comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
Finding the best horror festivals, the Oscar festivals, because I wanted to be nominated for an Oscar. So those were on my list. And film festivals that were around the world, because I wanted my film to be seen. I just think having your film seen in another country, and then you meet people from all over the world, and it's just the coolest thing.
So you had to find a festival. Okay, the first is Sonisha, specifically horror festival,
yeah.
and then you find a festival that has a broad category.
Yeah.
So you won't send it to experimental festival or
No, you have to know what your film is.
Exactly.
But for example, with Lunch Ladies, I always think of it as a comedy.
Mm.
So at first, I did not enter it in horror festivals. Now, children die and get eaten in my film, so I don't know why I didn't think it was a horror festival, a horror film. But when I found out after getting it in Nightmares Film Festival, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's a horror festival film," which I talk about that in the book too, like finding your niche.
Yeah.
And then also, it's two women. So then I was like, oh, I can enter these festivals that are women, and I'm a woman screenwriter, and one of my producers was so there. You can find your niche too.
Mm.
And blanket film festival, it's like it's overwhelming and it's not specific. So you just need to have a plan of what a plan of what you want to achieve. And those were 3 ways that I did it: horror festivals that had good reputations that I hear about from other filmmakers, and festivals where I wanted to be in Amsterdam, for example. What film festival can I be in Amsterdam that would like the Lunch Ladies? Imagine Fest.
Mm.
So that's how I focused in on what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Really learning by doing, and then you found out the priority of how the film should go, and exploring the keywords. It's kind of important. Yeah.
And going on
Category
Fest Home, like if you go on Fest Home and you check religiously every week
Mm.
the new festivals that come up, you will find all these amazing festivals that don't have a lot of buzz to get your film in. And they're free to enter, so why not enter them?
Yeah. The one of the pattern here in Indonesia, new filmmaker, go to Film Freeway and then find a filter and put the free one first,
Yeah.
and then the free one you see the year, okay, minimum 3 years, and then it's not blast the film,
But I
whatever.
find that Fest Home has more cool free international festivals than Film Freeway. Like, I mean, maybe it's changed, but I found so many interesting festivals on Fest Home and Short Film Depot that were not on
Short
Film
Film Depot.
Freeway.
Yeah.
Chika,
May I
yeah,
jump in?
yeah.
I think I highly recommend filmmakers to actually, if you don't have a lot of resource to research for the film festivals, I will say go to Short Film Conference website and then check out their festival member. That will be safe. There will be no fake film festival
Yes.
there.
Very safe.
And then Short Film Depot is another safe one. This is safe net because Short Film Depot is very particular. They really interrogate whether this is a legit film festivals. Film festivals, beware. But again, because they don't screen which film festivals
Film
can.
Freeway doesn't.
Yeah. So how about Fest Home? Do they screen? Do they
I
really
have
curate?
had no bad experiences with Fest
Okay,
Home.
cool.
Film Freeway, which is great. It's very easy to use. I understand why people want to use it. I've had bad experiences because I feel like a lot of it is not screened. So you have to be careful about, and I talk about it in the book, there's ways to find that. If you look at their website, you can kind of tell if it's put together right, if they have a real event. But even I got burned. I even got burned not too long ago on a festival. So, it happens.
What do you mean by got burned?
Well, like that they were not really a legit festival. They were really about making money off filmmakers, and they don't really care one way or the other about showing your film or screening your film. It's a money-making opportunity for them,
Mm.
which pisses me off. So.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask Chika. I think this is one huge question for Minikino programming. So what from your experience, what should beside buying the book, of course, what should Indonesian filmmakers do in terms of technical financing and developing their ideas through at the film through the festival. I mean, let's say I've sent my film to Minikino. I didn't get anything. You didn't pick my film, and then I still went here. So what should I do here during this mini film week 8? What's gonna happen for me to expand myself and my network?
Well, one thing for sure, which I'm really happy to find, it's actually really common practice, but rarely found in Indonesia. But last night, during the opening event, I saw a filmmaker have bunch of Indonesian filmmaker have bunch of postcards and flyer already with their schedules printed in it. Kudos! I find Excel actually, and I don't know, like, oh, maybe he bought the Clarissa's book. But anyhow, that is one way. And I think that is the most important way. Okay, you were saying if your film don't get selected, but hey, you have your films. Love your film, promote your films. You can just like print it out. It's, black and white, cheap one. Photocopy is still cheap in Indonesia. And then you meet people and you don't have name cards. That's fine. Just put it on the flyer. Who you are, what film are you making? Well, I didn't made it to the festival, but I made films. And you will meet a lot of filmmakers and also people from film festivals. So I think that's the most fun way of also enjoying a film festival. Not only watch your films, but also watch other filmmakers' film.
Can I piggyback on that? Because that's amazing that you said that. So Lunch Ladies did not get in Sitges, which is one of the top horror festivals in the world, but it got in Filmats, which is this wonderful festival in Barcelona. And when Augusti, who is the programmer, went to Sitges, he brought all the Lunch Ladies information because Lunch Ladies is playing on Kurt Circuit 33. And my flyers and pins were everywhere at Sitges. And I had people contact me that had gone to Sitges. So she's right. It doesn't necessarily matter if you're in the festival or not. Just you always have to be promoting your work. Yeah. So good advice. Yeah.
Kirin, I think it's time to print or make some merchandise after this. Okay, let's go.
I can recommend some cheap photocopies, and you have your material. Go print it out. Ask the hospitality team, where do I make copies of it? Okay.
Okay. Apparently, our time is over from the producer of this podcast. But before it's over, I'm very much I really want to hear live the talents of Clarissa Jacobson doing voices.
Oh, yeah.
Give me some voices, whatever sentence that you have in mind. Because I was when I listened to your voiceover recording,
My God,
I was
being
thinking,
put on the spot.
Is this really? Does she edit this or not?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really curious to listen to the live version of.
I'm just a little lunch lady.
Oh my God. She can really do it. Again.
Yes. I used to be an actress in a past life. And then I realized, no way. I'm a writer, filmmaker. Forget that. Yeah, and I used to love doing like sketch work and accents and stuff like that. Yeah.
One more, please.
Let's see.
My name's Lila Bixby, and I'm a little girl that loves to play and do fun things.
Give round of applause for Clarissa.
Oh, God. How
Thank
embarrassing.
Thank you all. Thank you, Clarissa. Thank you, Kirin. Thank you, Chika. And thank you all the crews. We'll meet again in another episode of Kopi Selem. Probably next week. Yeah, next week.
Yeah, 2 more days.
2 more days from here, but for you guys next week, for the listeners. So okay, see you guys. Bye.